Howdy, gang, and welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host here at the Gaming Gang channel. Thanks for joining me once again. Today, I am going to dive on in and take a first look at the initial 3 issues of Cursed Scroll from the Arcane Library. These are zines devoted to the Shadowdark old school role-playing game. Now, they are available in PDF for $8.99 each. I am actually going to be sharing a look at the physical zines themselves. I have to be honest, I don't have a price on them, though. So I am going to take a wild stab in the dark that the physical zines will carry MSRPs somewhere in the vicinity of $15.99 to maybe $17.99. That would be my guess. And I'm sure that Kelsey Dionne from the Arcane Library will chime in probably in the comments section to let us know what the MSRP is, and I will put that information into the show notes. All right, enough of that. Let's swing on over to the other camera because here I've got issue 1. Diablerie. Spells, monsters, adventure, witches, warlocks, cursed knights. Oh my. Do you want to mention before we get stuck in? Kelsey Dionne and the fine folks over at the Arcane Library were kind enough to provide me with these 3 zines for review. But neither I nor anyone else affiliated with the Gaming Gang has received any other sort of compensation for me to share this coverage with you. These days, it's very, very important that you know that. We're also not going to look at each and every page of these zines, but I do want to give you a really good feel for what you're going to find inside. And honestly, I'm very curious myself because I really liked Shadowdark. So I am excited to see some additional Shadowdark content from the Arcane Library, not from a third-party publisher. Not that I have anything against that, but I am looking forward to more content from the Arcane Library. Lastly, I do believe that each of these issues are going to have an adventure inside. So when I hit the adventure, I'm probably just going to take a look at the summary and then skip a lot of pages because I don't want any of the surprises ruined simply because we were taking a peek inside these zines. So if you are a player and your game master has picked up Shadowdark and maybe they've picked up the PDFs of Cursed Scroll, tune out now. You don't want the surprises ruined simply because you watched this video. Now, having said that, if your game master is kicking around maybe picking up these issues of Cursed Scroll, then I would certainly recommend tell them about this video so they can take a peek, get a much more better feel for what's inside these zines so they can approach these and make an informed buying decision. All right, let's jump on in. So it looks as if this first issue is going to start off. We've got a bit of a hex crawl. And then we've got a miniature hex crawl featuring the gloaming. Ah, okay. So you're going to roll. You'll have different encounter zones, various different encounters, rumors. Oh, that's interesting. At least this issue is written entirely by Kelsey Dionne. And then we've got all of the artists here. Make sure we give them a little bit of credit. Welcome to the first issue of Cursed Scroll. Everything in this zine is ready to use with the free public Shadowdark RPG rules. You can check out the fully playable Quick Start PDF at thearcanelibrary.com/pages/Shadowdark. This issue's theme is Diablerie. And the pages inside are brimming with player and game master material about demons, deviltry, curses, the occult, and witchcraft. You can roll up a brand new witch or warlock character, explore the dark forests and bogs of the gloaming, join the tormented knights of St. Idris, or test your mettle in the hideous halls of Mugdalblub. Oh, the evil Mugdalblub. Oh, that's cool. That's classic. All right, so that's going to tell us what is in this So looks like we have new classes available to us. So we've got new classes, new talents. Okay, so these are the characters. So Knight of St. Idris class, they are cursed knights. Warlock class, witch class, witch, that witch. And then we've got some titles based on level and some patrons too. So we've got 3 new classes. If you're not overly familiar with Shadowdark, it is a hot, old school styled role-playing game. It is not necessarily, at least in my definition, an old school revival sort of role-playing game, but it really does capture the old school vibe very, very well. I know a lot of people refer to it as a new SR role-playing game. The reality is, if you're familiar with 5e mechanics, at least the core action resolution of the D20, and you are interested in the old school style of role-playing, it is a must-have. I'll just simply sum it up that way. I've got a review. Check it out. Sweet into magic. So we got new spells, I'm guessing. So we've got diabolical mishaps. Here we go. We got some new spells. Beguile, broomstick, frog rain. Wasn't that a Prince song? Howl, dimension door, polymorph. Sweet. Well, looks like we got a lot of spells in this. We've got the gloaming hex key for the map on the inside cover, at least inside front cover, telling us about the different locations. So we've got some new bestiary entries. This zine is packed with goodies. Okay, and then we get into our adventure. It's a first-level adventure for Shadowdark. The discussion is nigh. All shall become one. Gordak Brieg, servant of Mugdalblub. I am Mugdalblub. Here's our overview. Long ago, a fissure in the caverns below Bittermold Keep bubbled and grew, spewing forth a pool of muttering madness. This primordial ooze, Mugdalblub, drove the Bittermold family who lived in the keep to insanity. Now the ooze's petitioners zealously feed and protect it, warring with each other for their patron's favor. Looks like we've got quite a few pages devoted to that adventure. So it starts on, well, our overview begins on page 50 and it runs through 64. So 14 pages, 15 actually. And join the dark, joining the Shadowdark RPG community where you can find adventures and content. And then we've got our map of Bittermold Keep. Nice. Very nice. Of course, I will have reviews of each of these zines. I will do individual reviews. Now, granted, they might be 5 minutes long, but I will review each of these issues separately. So this is issue 2, Red Sands. Desert sorcerers, bandits, lost treasures, ruins, pit fights, perilous adventures. So this is a collection of ideas. In a dead bandit's hand, you find a couple of examples. Scarab Beetle token, advantage on your next check or attack roll. Ownership papers for a prized warhorse stabled in Elkish. All right, so let's see. What do we have here? So this is going to be maybe kind of a desert theme. So it looks like we've got another hex crawl map, and it is a desert. It is the Digerm, a vast shimmering desert where red mountains stand silent watch over wind-blown valleys and undulating sand dunes. Merchant caravans pick their way between fragile oases that dot the wastes, hoping to miss the path of mountain bandits, a howling sandstorm, or the skyborne death of the Scourge. So here we've got more authors. No, okay, so we've got Kelsey and Someone did a wounds, rules, and table, or enduring wounds, I should say. And that is Zion Kurtz. Okay, we've got our artist credits as well. The second issue of Cursed Scroll arrives on a scorching desert wind. This time, we explore an undulating sea of sand where vibrant camel caravans pick their way across moon-like valleys, and far-eyed bandits peer down from their cliff-top perches like birds of prey. These are lands where the fearsome Kodai? Can't really make out that font all that well. Sorcerers trained in hidden canyon monasteries, perfecting the art of dealing unseen death. Here the whipping sandstorms scour flesh from bone, and in their aftermath, forgotten places emerge at long last from beneath the endless sands, calling crawlers to tempt their fates inside sinister, secret-filled halls. Sweet! And of course, this is all compatible with Shadowdark and the free quick start. You do not necessarily have to have the core rulebook. I should mention, from what I have seen from Shadowdark, you can easily convert these classes and adventures and things like that to other rules light OSR games. I would think they'd be very, very easy. So now we've got a new class, Desert Rider class, the Pit Fighter. Really solid artwork throughout these. And the Rosgodai, that's what we saw. That was the font I couldn't make out. Rosgodai, black-clad assassins who train from childhood inside a hidden desert monastery. Well, and of course we get their talents, titles. We get some new weapons. Nice. Pit fighting. So this is a downtime activity. Thraxis Arena. So it's a locale with some information there. New mounts. We got the camel, the donkey, the elephant, horses again, and the scrag. Aha. Travel in the sands. That is one aspect of Shadowdark that's really not in the core rulebook. A lot of overland journeying. I mean, there's like a page devoted to it, but it's really nice to see these zines kind of picking up the slack on that. So here's our hex crawl with the keyed locations. Then we get into a bit of a bestiary here. Mirage, a Doom Fiend, a Dust Devil. There's our Scrag. They're lizards. Lizards which are no doubt used as mounts or beasts of burden. And we got another adventure, Fortress of the Burning Brothers. So this is for 4th to 6th level adventurers. The Afridi Lord Pasha Jafar has twin sons, Malik and Gaspar. Both are as cruel and conniving as their father. By the laws of the Sultan, Jafar must choose one of his firstborn sons to inherit his title. To determine their fate, Jafar has sent them to share the command of the Iron Fortress, a Durgar mine on the material plane. They know their unspoken task: prove yourself worthy. The Sultan's law prohibits overt murder, so each brother seeks a deniable way to get rid of the other. Both crave to return to the city of brass in triumph. So the adventurers are going to stumble upon this. Maybe they're exploring the Iron Fortress. So we've got a couple of factions, at least, we know. So we've got the two brothers who are looking to outwit the other. Looks like we've got some NPCs here, too. And then we wrap up Join the Dark once again. So the first two zines clocked in at 65 pages. Let's see what we've got with issue 3, Midnight Sun. And on the back here, we have Seawolf Plunder from Distant Lands, Viking, Norse style. That's what we're probably looking at here. A couple of examples. a wavy silver dagger with a crescent moon pommel, a heavy statue of an angel cast from pure gold. And we've got the Isles of Andric. That's our hex crawl here, with the encounter zones and different encounters. We have Kelsey Dionne once again with a vast majority of the writing. And then sundering rules are provided by Jake House of the House DM YouTube channel. All right. The third issue of Cursed Scroll sails to you over black, foamy seas upon dragon-headed longboats. Everything in this zine is built to enhance the Shadowdark role-playing game core rules. Once again, go grab those over at the Arcane Library. This issue takes us to the stark Northlands, where sheer cliffs rise from the sea to form a chain of isles. Here, night and day last a full season each, and clans of fierce warriors eke out a harsh existence. During the warm seasons of the midnight sun, these sea wolves pillage distant lands in their swift longboats, seizing riches and resources from those too weak to hold them. New classes. The Sea Wolf. Seafaring raiders who prowl the isles for plunder and dragon-headed longboats. I wonder if we'll have like a Norse seer. Well, there is my answer. Baleful diviners who reek of smoke and blood. They untangle the whispers of the gods by reading the runes, the bones, and the stars. So we have two new classes. These are the Nord. So you got Nord backgrounds. Got some new gameplay rules. Okay, so we've got new gear. Hand axe, stave, and a round shield. Going to get into detail about boats. We've got galleons, longboats, rafts, rowboats, sailboats. Looks like we've got a small locale. The Wartwick Monastery, well, I would think that would be a raiding location. Arctic Sea encounters. Got magic, so we got new spells, it looks like. Yep, so we've got spells for the seer. Chant, Fate, Valkyrie, Trance, World Tree, Seasons and Sea Travel. We've got our hex key for our map that we had on the inner front cover. Well, that's cool. Nice art for the dragon there. We've got some new monsters and NPCs because we've got the Nord. We've got drakes. And then we have Horde of the Sea Wolf King. Ooh, so this is a 0-level gauntlet. Well. I always like gauntlets. I have to say, I've never played one as a player, but as a game master, that can be a lot of fun. Because you don't have to sit there worrying about, feeling bad because you killed characters off. Because the players have a slew of characters. It's supposed to be a meat grinder. The mightiest king of the sea wolves, Skorgald, lies entombed in the sea caves, carried to Valhalla with the hoard he won in life. It said his rotting head rests on piles of gold, and his hands still clutch the bejeweled crosses and crowns he reaped from those he conquered. King Skorgald will live on in legend amongst your people. You won't yet. Raiding is the right of the strong, and so you go to the sea caves to seize your fortune and make your name. If old King Skorgald is still worthy of his hoard, then let him rise up to defend it. Yowza! So it's going to discuss gauntlets. There is a little bit of info in the core rulebook about gauntlets. Got to keep in mind, everything with Shadowdark is pretty concise. It's not an overly verbose rule system. So here we've got our keyed locations. Take a guess, we'll probably finish up with the map. The Sea Nymph Den, Decayed Docks, Skorgald's Grave. Here we go, Sea Caves and Tombs. Actually, it's got quite a few keyed locales here. Very nice. Sweet, so we've got issue 3, issue 2, and issue 1 of Cursed Scroll. And once again, I will have reviews of all 3 issues in the very near future. All right, once again, I should point out, go pick up the quick start rules for Shadowdark. Costs you absolutely nothing. Check them out. I think it is an excellent role-playing game, especially for those who are familiar with D20 mechanics. Maybe they're familiar with 5e D&D, but they want to enjoy an old-school style game. Can do no wrong picking up Shadowdark. All right, that is it for this time out. If you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, don't forget, ring that bell, because it'll not only let you know when I upload videos such as these first looks, it'll also inform you when my live stream, the Gaming Gang Dispatch, airs Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings right here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Central. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit gaminggang.com for all latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more you are not going to find here on the YouTube channel. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Thank you very much for watching. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer, and until I see you next time, I certainly hope all of you get to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang.